Unsurpassed, telecast, it's the 10 items or less podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 10 Items or Less. I'm your host, Justin Smith. You know the day where we're bringing a guest. We fire 10 questions at him. My guest today is a comic that I've known for a very, very long time. He is truly one of my favorite people from New York City. You can catch him from his new podcast, No Leg Days. My guest today is Nick Simmons.
What's going on, brother?
What's up, dude? How's it going?
Going pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah?
it's awesome seeing you here, man.
For sure. It's also weird when the comedy's been so, like, everybody lived in one place for so long and now everybody's scattered.
Yeah.
So you kind of just see everybody.
Well, it's almost like we all went to the same college, and it was
Yeah.
the Laughing Buddha University.
That's hilarious. That's a great way to. I mean, I was telling a comic here about that, and I was like, man, this open mic that I started at, it's kind of getting crazy. Mm-hmm. And they were like, well, who? I was like, on any given Friday night, it would be, Nick, Caitlin Palufo, Osama Sadiq. You have
Mark Norman would drop in.
Yeah. Emma Willman was around a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Ian Laura, Jordan Fisher.
Yeah.
I mean, all those people that are all like super hot, like that are popping off. You're like, that was Friday night at the mic. So that was a $5 mic. You're seeing a show.
Getting an appetizer.
Unbelievable. The appetizer. That's the worst, dude. The worst thing. It was like a selling point. You're like, no. Like you realize we're down here for the mic, right?
And the 4 French fries and a pierogi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With the weird Italian, with the what is it, Thousand Island dressing
Ugh.
on it.
Ugh.
You're like, and the weird, creepy, like Polish dudes that were always hanging out up top, and you're like, I know you want us to think you're connected. You're not connected.
This is how broke of comedian I was. I don't know how it was for you, but like I remember like when the appetizers, you'd see them coming downstairs. That was the check spot of the because no one paid attention to what you were saying because none of us had money, so we needed those French fries.
Absolutely.
We needed that so badly because I'm like, oh, I finally get to eat.
And then they started putting them upstairs. And you're like, and then everybody would disappear. And you're like, the worst part was being hungry, and then being on when you get your name drawn, and then watching everybody. You're like, there's no
nothing
food
left for me.
It's gonna be the weird pierogi that was somehow somebody cut it in half because they wanted to try it.
Yep.
And you're like, this is disgusting. You ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. I'm gonna save that one for later. That feels like fun. What is the craziest sport that you follow?
Craziest?
Maybe even like obscure. What's the most obscure sport that you follow?
Obscure sport. And
it could be for some, like a person.
I don't know if it's obscure. I'm just such a diehard. I've wrestled my whole life. I'm such a diehard, and I didn't realize until like I stopped wrestling how little people care about wrestling. It's almost like, I mean, now there's like RAF and all these different like stuff like that. But before that, it was just like a fraternity, and it was like only people who did wrestle or lived in Oklahoma, Iowa, and maybe Ohio actually cared, and that was it. It was. I feel like there's more people now who watch pickleball.
You're not lying.
Than that watched wrestling 5 years ago.
I mean, I always tell people that if you ever go to a match, like a Oklahoma State versus Iowa situation, it's collegiate wrestling is the only place where when you get people in the arena, there's no casuals. Everybody knows what's going on.
Yep.
The girlfriends, the mothers, everybody knows every situation. I mean, to hear a mom yell at a referee who is college educated, dedicated his whole life to making sure the shoulders are flat to the mat. That's what he spent his whole life. He probably has red and green stains on his wrists.
Yes.
That's how long he's been doing it. And for that woman to call him a coward in front of an audience of 10,000 people, there's nothing like it. I mean, I remember I went to a match, Oklahoma State, because Oklahoma State guy, was wrestling Rutgers. And I always, anytime I would go to see Oklahoma State wrestle, you're always like, you're going to show up and it's not going to be big here. And I pulled to the parking lot in Rutgers, and I had to park like 2 or 3 blocks away. I was like, well, maybe there's a softball game or there's a concert or something. You're like, no. It was weird seeing a bunch of Guidos.
Oh, Jersey's like that.
Love wrestling.
Jersey and Pennsylvania are the 2 states on the East Coast that are like huge. That's like wrestling is like what they do. You know what I mean? Especially because like if you're a short Guido, you're not making the football team
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like you're never gonna be a wide receiver, but you are built great for wrestling. You know,
it's very funny to be like you should get into wrestling. This is gonna train to be a cop.
Funny enough with the wrestling thing too, it also it is like a fraternity thing where like when I met my girl's dad grew up on a farm in Colorado. Yeah. And she was like, she made me nervous before I met him. She's like, he's a farm guy. He doesn't really talk much. Like he's never really liked anybody I brought home and stuff like that. But I found out he was also a college wrestler. And I was nervous the whole time. Like, hopefully we could talk a little about wrestling or something like that. But she's like, he doesn't really talk to anybody. So I go to her house, her family's house in Colorado, first time meeting the parents. Me and her dad talked for maybe 8 hours about wrestling, about Gable Stevenson, about like Nick Suriano, about like all the
By the way, that was Soriano was who I went and saw at Rutgers.
Really?
Because it was him and Derringer, I think, where that was the big matchup.
Yeah.
So literally, it's also funny to watch people like because he was a draw.
Oh yeah.
And that team was not great.
And he's coming back right now too. He's been wrestling again.
Yeah.
It's really fun to watch, but like it was so cool because like even their whole family, like even his parents were like, we've never seen him talk to anybody about anything for this long.
That's great.
And then whenever I go there, all we're talking is about this, that, RAF. We're texting back and forth while we're watching RAF. And it's like it really is such a small community of people, but the people who love it really love it.
I'm gonna tell you something. There's nothing worse in a relationship than when you meet somebody's dad. And then you get along with their dad better than they do.
Oh, I do.
And you're like you've texted my dad more tonight.
Yes.
Than I have the entire month.
Oh, me and him text all the time at this point.
That's
now
hilarious.
that RAF is a thing, we're always like, who you think's got this one? Who, you know, like you think Armin's gonna win this one? Like we're all about it.
That's so crazy to be like. Also, wrestling is like feels like it's so unpredictable because it's all just the situation, how you feel going in.
Yeah.
It's also, was there any specific person that got you into? Because I always feel like there's always a personality that gets you in the door. Like I've never paid attention to women's rugby ever.
Yeah.
Until Alana Mayer. She showed up and I watched her run the ball one time, and then just seeing like her shoulders, and you're like, and then she was like really like sassy in an interview, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm following women's rugby now.
I was not as big of a college wrestling fan until I saw DeSanto wrestle.
Right.
And he was, I think, at Iowa at the time. And he was just this psychopath that everybody, after they wrestled him, was like, it was like being in a car accident. Like they have like marks all over their body.
Can I tell you something? It's so funny how ingrained you are in wrestling because you just referred to one specific wrestler as a psychopath. My man, they're all psychopaths.
They're all, but he's another level.
Yeah,
he's another
that's
level.
true.
Yeah, because like everybody who wrestles him is like, I don't want to do that again.
Right.
That sucked.
Like, why do I have a bite mark? That's weird. Dude.
Yeah, it looks like they got clawed. It looked like a Wolverine attacked them. Like they fought a fucking honey badger. Yeah. You know, and they're just like there's like a hickey on their neck. They're like, what happened here?
That match got weird. That third period. Did you guys see that?
But watching him wrestle and just being that Iowa style, he's like the embodiment of. This is probably so niche, but like he's the embodiment of Iowa style wrestling. Iowa style is like that constant attack, chain wrestle, chain. There's no. It's not about defense. It's all about just like constant pressure.
Right.
And he just like embodied that perfectly. And then just like him just being like this weird autistic guy off the mat. I'm like, I like this guy. There's something about this guy that just I like him a lot.
It is very funny to see people. You're like, oh, I bet you he's like this. You're like, they're not like that.
No.
They're really weird. Like, there's a lot of guys from Oklahoma State that are like super. I mean, there was a video of what's his name? They call him the Panda. What is his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Cody. What is his name? It'll come to me. His brother has gone viral. Because his brother was the high school kid that beat the Olympian in that tournament. He's like insanely jacked. but there was videos of them like they're so like weird, where they were showing up to go to nationals.
Yeah.
And they were like, Cody brought us. By the way, it's also funny to watch wrestlers get NIL money now, because for so long it was like I just had to get chicken breast from. Now he's like, oh, Cody brought lobster on the plane.
Yeah,
like he steamed lobster,
which it makes me kind of sad in a way. I mean, I'm happy for them, but like because I don't know if you're a UFC guy, but I love UFC,
of
and
course.
like I love seeing Americans do well in UFC, but Americans won't be doing good for it's going to be a while unless some of them just really want it. Because that used to be like their way of like, okay, now I'm done wrestling. What do I do now with life? So I'm going to go into the UFC.
Right.
Now that they're making more money than any UFC fighter until they make it to like the top level of like, there's wrestlers making like what, like possibly like $300,000 a year or something like that. Like,
I mean, if you're in
and
college,
you're making $8,000 to show up for a fight in UFC, you're like, I could either get my head punched in,
right,
or just be a really accomplished wrestler, then possibly get a job at a university, getting even more money, like possibly like $1 million. Like Kyle Dake, there's no reason for him to go into UFC.
Right.
You know, he's already made all the money. You know, so
well,
it's
I think about Johnny Hendricks. Johnny Hendricks was like that. In Oklahoma State, I mean, he wrestled one of the coolest matches I ever saw in my whole life. I was in the arena when he beat that guy from Michigan.
Yeah.
And like came back from behind and scored a point. And me and Greg Warren have had a big argument about that. About was it really a takedown? Was it really wasn't? And Greg Warren's not a guy you want to argue because he is Missouri.
Sure.
They don't represent in the national championship a lot. Sorry, that was very niche.
But now it's just dominated by all these guys from all these guys who look like Abraham Lincoln from Dagestan. It's just a white guy with a beard, and
You're
you're
like,
just
what's that little hat you guys are wearing? That's just. By the way, is somebody that is I don't feel like I'm an uncultured person, but there's something so funny about UFC that makes you realize how uncultured you are.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, I thought all those guys from Dagestan or whatever, like even like God, what's his name?
Khabib?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something. For the first 5 or 6 clips that I ever saw of Khabib, because I would watch it kind of casually, UFC. I thought the little white hat. I thought that was his real hair. I didn't know that it was a. I didn't know there was a hat. I was just like, oh man, this is like a weird choice, But again, like I used to watch college wrestling, so there were so many wrestlers with like weird
dyed blonde hair. I've dyed my hair blonde plenty of times. Yeah.
So you're like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's a choice. Maybe that's just what they're doing, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is true. When you do see those, like it's a white guy with a Abraham Lincoln beard, screaming Allahu Akbar, and you're like, I don't know what that is, but that's crazy.
It feels weird. You're like, it's very funny to be anywhere else in the world. Everybody's putting an eye on that guy.
Yeah.
But here they're like, we're gonna lock him in a cage with somebody else and see what happens. what a sport, dude.
Yes.
All right. Next question. What is the most shocking thing you've ever gotten for free?
For free. Thing for free.
Because it's when you do comedy, there's always that the first one that you get where you're like, oh, you're gonna send me something.
I don't know if it's. I guess it was fan art. It was fan art. It could be called art.
First of all, before we continue, is there a photo of this art somewhere?
No.
You didn't take a photo of it?
No, because it was both me and Callan.
Okay.
But it
was
like,
it for you?
Yeah.
It was a gift to you?
Yeah.
Or to y'all?
To us.
Yeah.
And we were both naked. And we were both. First of all, it was my body. I was jacked, but he also made Callan just as jacked, which was kind of insulting.
I would be furious. Are you kidding me?
But it was just us holding each other jacked, and he goes, "I'm just a big fan of both you guys, so I just want to give this to you." And it was like a note on the back, just how inspiring my comedy's been to him.
Right.
But I just sat there for like a good hour, and I was just like, "Why is Callan as jacked as me? This is crazy."
Dude, that is so real because I've had there are other comics that I get compared to when I was in Nashville. This is so bad. Me and Aaron Weber would get confused.
Okay. All right.
And I would always be like, hey, it doesn't bother me, but I know it bothered Aaron a lot. But I would watch it happen to him, and he's like, "Okay, thank you," and just you're like, I like. Also, that happened once or twice, and then Aaron started really slimming down. He started talking about intermittent fasting a lot, and you're like, "Okay, I guess it's hurting him a little more than I thought."
It is weird when you're the guy who's the one who's like, "Oh, seriously?" Because I had one. There's one, and I don't see it at all. But I remember one time I'm at the Comedy Store. And this Asian girl walks up to me and she goes, I love your stuff. She goes, I've seen you in New York. And she's like, it's so cool seeing you here. I was like, oh, thank you. And she's going off about like seeing me roast. I'm like, I've maybe did roast battle one time at New York Comedy Club. And I'm like, that's niche,
Oh, no.
And she's like, you're Jeff Ross, right? And I went, what?
That's great.
She goes, are you not Jeff Ross? I'm like, no, that hurts so bad. Why would you say that?
First of all, I think you need to contact the doctor. I think you need glasses.
And she made it so much worse. She goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm drunk, and I'm Asian, so my eyes are small, so it's hard to." I'm like, "Don't bring me into this. This is crazy." Now you're making. I'm like, I just left. I was like, I gotta get out of here.
That's it. When you were saying that, I was like, I don't know, like, because there are like, I'm looking at you, and I'm just like,
I got a big Italian nose.
I was thinking like, does she think you're Jeselnik? Maybe like I was
No.
I was thinking like beard, like okay, maybe that Jeff Ross absolutely
is crazy.
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know anybody that looks like Jeff Ross.
No, he's. I mean, maybe like Kermit the Frog.
I mean, she might as well come up to you and go like, "You're already lame, right?" You're like, "No, absolutely not." What do you?
And I was so happy because she's like, "I've seen you at the cellar, and I've seen you," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." I wouldn't have thought that, but all right. And then she's like, "Jeff Ross," and I'm like, "That's crazy." No.
You're also like,
no.
He's bald. He like what? On what planet do you like? I don't think he even has facial hair.
No, and my hair was long at the time. I'm like, what are you doing?
That's so weird.
I feel like she came there to hurt me.
Yeah. You know what? I also wonder if she was trying to find a name and couldn't find it.
And just Jeff Ross came
and
out.
just Jeff Ross. You know what? Where was it at? It was the Comedy Store?
Comedy Store.
I wonder if you were just standing at the wall and she was like, man, you just look like Jeff Ross.
It was above me.
It was just the back of the wall.
Like the George Glass in Brady Bunch.
Yeah, you're
George
like,
Glass.
You're like, I'm going to tell you something. You're my absolute favorite. You're Shang Wang. What was it was a free thing. I got I remember the first time I ever got something for free for being a comedian. I was ordering a baseball jersey from Ebbets, which is like a vintage baseball company in Seattle. And for whatever reason, I was having it shipped somewhere because I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be on the road," and I just needed to because it was like their jersey. They make every jersey at the time. They made every. I don't know what they've changed since. But I called and I said, "Hey, I know I ordered this jersey about a month ago. I know it's about that time shipping. I'm gonna be on the road and doing this thing. Can you hold it?" Or like I was just trying to figure out when I would be because you don't want to leave a package
sitting on the
First of all, I lived in uptown New York. You don't leave a package in that post office.
No, you have to get there when it gets there.
The amount of times, I'm going to tell you something, the amount of times that something was getting delivered to me and it never showed up, and then you just see like a 100-pound Dominican kid walking around in a 5X Oklahoma State shirt. You're like, well, I guess we know where it went.
I've had that with someone stole packages, but it was peptides and syringes. Oh. So I was just looking for anybody that looked like they lost weight in my building because I'm like, someone took this shit.
Yeah, that's like who's
if someone had a glow up in my building, I'm like, it was you.
Yeah, it was you. You see somebody helping an old lady up with he's just carrying the cart like this.
Just
and you're like, it's you. You're the one. You're like let me see your arm. I called Ebbets to do the thing, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, what are you traveling for?" I go, "I'm a comedian." She goes, "Oh, we love comedians here," and she goes, "We just sent a bunch of stuff to Jeff Garland." I go, "I thought you said like comedians." Sorry. But she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is your order." She goes, "I'm gonna send you a little something after," and she sent me this very cool, the Kansas City Cats hat, which is like one of their best items. I still have the hat,
really,
which is like I still wear it a bunch. but it's still like the first time you ever get something for free. Is
Very
like
cool.
Just so awesome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. First time you get recognized, too, is a cool thing.
Yeah.
It's always at
I don't know,
airports.
Jeff Ross. I think I'd be cool with that.
That actually is the first time I got recognized.
I'm going to tell you something, dude. You're going as Jeff Ross on my phone from now on, dude. All right, next question. What is the most insane thing you've ever seen at the gym?
Like work, just anything?
Just, I mean, you're. It could be somebody using a machine wrong. It could be something somebody's wearing, something a workout somebody did that went wrong,
Oh.
or just a weird conflict that happened.
It's not, I mean, it is funny, but it was also like, whoa. But I was watching this guy deadlift 6 plates on each side, and he wasn't, because you're supposed to be breathing the whole time. He just wasn't breathing. Mm-hmm. And this guy passed out and shit himself, and I watched it go down his leg. That was insane.
First of all, I think we're all wondering, did he complete the rep?
Well, no, he didn't.
I mean, first of all, can you imagine filling your underwear and the rep didn't count? We've never talked about that before.
No, he came up and he actually was like, it was like getting knocked out. He's like, what happened? Everyone's like, you shit yourself.
Yeah.
Like he did that thing, like, you know, when like you're deadlifting and like you're like trying to get that.
Oh, for
and
sure.
Start shaking. He just went.
Yeah.
And it was just all at once. I don't think I could think of something more insane than what we talked about before the pod.
Right.
Where it's just the old guy that comes into the gym every day just to powder his balls.
Right. That is first of all, I feel like that's a gym delicacy.
I see him everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it's the same guy. I think I saw him in New York, and now I see him here in Austin.
It's just that it's a shapeshifter.
No, it's the same guy. It's
like
just an old white guy whose balls go down to his knees.
Yeah.
And he, for some reason, he always has to put his foot up on the bench and talk to you.
You know what's? I always wonder when I see the naked guy at the gym, and he's got the giraffe's tongue, if you will. Mm-hmm. There's always moments in my life where I used to look at somebody who was older and go, why would you do that? I wonder if there's going to be a time in my life when I'm like 65, I go to the gym, I put that towel on, and I just do something, and you realize, oh, that's why he does that. Like, you're like, nothing's better than an air dry. You know, like you just have you turn that
really
corner
does.
and you go. Like, I remember the first time that I really started like stretching, like not for before, but like just because I knew it makes my day better.
Yeah.
Like stretching in the pool or whatever it is. You're like, I don't know, man. I kind of like the stretching thing. It's really
roll
like
your back out.
Yeah. And you're like, is this what all those old people were hiding from me? Like, I get mad at them now for different reasons. You're like, or like the first time you ever just drive 15 miles an hour below the speed limit. And you're like, dude, the pressure this takes off.
Yeah.
Just, you're like, I'm just going to leave this turn signal on for a good 2 miles.
Oh, yeah.
It's, you know how soothing hearing a turn signal just click, click, click.
Feels good.
Click. You're like, gosh, this is
Just
like
being a problem for everybody else on the road. But
you're like,
man, it feels good.
You're like, it's 4 p.m. Let's go eat.
Yeah.
You know, like let's just keep it going. Like, what if they're doing the whole thing? What if they've been doing it right the whole time? And it takes to you get that AAP card in the mail, and you're like, all right, let's just go into it. Let's lean into it.
Something just hit me actually. If you mean also weirdest thing that's ever happened to me is a totally different story. Now, I used to be a personal trainer at the Equinox in Gramercy, and I did that one on purpose because it was right across from New York Comedy Club.
Of course.
It's a very gay gym. Like, part of the job was like, all right, you're going to go on the floor, you're going to personal train people, and then you're going to go into the bathroom, and if you see people hooking up in the steam room, you have to shoo them out of there, like they're street cats.
This is your first day.
Yeah.
I just want you to know this is part of...
That's part of the gig.
Yeah.
And so... I would do that, and then I would also just like at the end of my shift, I'd always get a workout in, go in the locker room, get changed, whatever. So I get a workout in, and I'm also one of those people that like I'm not gonna walk around naked, but I'm gonna get naked so I could change out of my disgusting clothes.
We're all
because I have
adults.
to go do stand up after this.
Yeah.
You know. So I remember got a workout in, and I'm completely naked, and I just have the towel around me, and I just hear something behind me, and I literally turned like in a horror movie, like where you slowly turn, and there's this guy just getting completely naked behind me, and he stops and goes, "You're Brett, right?" And I went, no. And he goes, oh. And then he slowly put his clothes back on. And I never saw him again after that.
That guy's probably leaving and goes, worst day pass ever.
And I'm like, thank God I turned around. Thank God.
It's gotta be crazy.
Also, I feel
like,
bad for Brett now.
No, dude, I think it's
Brett
the best.
must have sat there naked, just feeling like he got stood up.
What if you ever see Brett when you work there and you go, oh, dude, that's the best compliment of the whole. Or what if the worst part would be what if you see Brett and it's just Brian Callen, like that's and you're like, why does this keep happening
Jeff
to
Ross
me?
again.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's crazy when there's like a level of confusion like that, but man, like. I can't imagine being that guy and just be like, man, like I thought this was gonna be the best day ever.
I just still imagine Brett was just sitting there sad, just like his dad didn't come to pick him up for the game.
It's also crazy to think that he watched you like get naked, and he's like, okay, he's sending me the signal. Because I've also been the guy that's like thought I was getting a signal.
Yeah.
And then you put a towel on, you go, oh, I guess that's weird, but all right, like just. Maybe he likes to play hard to get, you know? And then you turn around and you go, oh, no.
It was definitely some role play thing that I just so happened to almost be a part of.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
But you know what? The one important thing to take away from this whole thing, and it's the one thing the gay community always does correct, always ask for permission first.
Yes.
All right, dude. Last question. It's the big one. What hill would you die on?
Does it have to be a funny one, or could it just be just like my hard take that I don't think people are going to agree with, but it's my newest hardest take?
Well, it depends on what ethnic group you're going to fire a shell at.
Let me tell you about these Malokes.
No.
I want to marry your daughter.
Fire away. Give it a shot.
So I've been with my girl, and I grew up Roman Catholic. And then I came here, and she's Christian, which I found out is very different, especially when I went to my first Christian church.
Oh, you went to did you go to like a mega church?
Went to Red Rocks over here, which
okay
is like, I'm used to going to a church where it's like you go there and everything's in Latin. You don't know what's happening. There's a guy in a robe hitting you with like smells and stuff like that.
Of course.
And then I went here and it's this weird Jesus concert where there's like a band.
Yeah.
There's like, and then like my priest wearing a robe. This guy gets on stage wearing joggers, Jordans, and a backwards hat. And I'm like, who is this guy? Is there a pickup game about to happen?
Right.
And then I was like, this is the priest. And I'm like, pastor. And I'm like,
yeah.
I've never seen my priest shoes. He doesn't wear Jordan 11s.
For sure.
You know, like, but it was not, it's definitely different. But one thing we did was we decided we were going to save it for marriage, which has been so much fun.
Yeah. Super fun.
But I will say saving it for marriage is the best decision I've made and it will prove to you if that partner is the right partner. Because if you take having sex out of the equation, you actually have to figure out if you like this person for who they are as a person. So saving for marriage, my hot take will be you'll find out truly if this person is the right person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Because if you're not hooking up, you better like them.
Right. For sure.
There's no so you get to find out what parts of their character you like about them, what their morals are. Like I've gotten to know her on a level that I haven't gotten to know people that I've been with for much longer periods of time.
Right.
Because you don't have that thing to fall back on. Like, well, at least we like hooking up. And, then you could just like project the things that you want on this person. So I guess my hot take would be saving it for marriage. If you want to find out if this person is the right person for you, we'll give you that answer.
Gotcha. How long have you guys been together?
A year.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. And was the saving it? Whose idea was that?
Well, she told me. on the second date,
There it is.
She goes, yeah. Oh,
There it is. We found it.
I was ready.
The negotiations started on a second date.
I spent my teenage years on the Jersey Shore, so you know that I was.
Well, it makes a lot of sense now. You're like, nah, I'm ring shopping. I'm gonna tell you something. Nothing will get you to a ring shop faster in a year than like, hey, we're gonna wait. You're like, guess what? Nothing will get you on the phone with Discover faster. Going like, so what's my credit limit exactly?
That was the funny, because on the second date at first she goes, if you're not about this, I'll totally understand, but I want to stay celibate till marriage, and if that's a problem for you, then totally understand. And at first I was like, she said I sat there and didn't talk for 4 minutes.
such a specific time.
I thought it was 30 seconds, but she's like, you were out for a while.
Yeah.
And I went, all right, I'll try it out. And then I've gotten to know her on such a level that I haven't got, it's almost like becoming good friends with someone, where you're like, when you're friends with someone, obviously you're not banging them. So like,
right.
You get to know who that person is. You're like, oh, this is my dog. You know what I mean? And then like, that's how it is with a relationship too, in that, where it's like, yeah, that would be really fun, but also I'm going to get to know who you are way better than if I was hooking up with you.
I will say it's very interesting to me, somebody that was I was very religious, and I understand that practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've never seen anybody do it where they're just like, oh, this is not like my religion. Like is she super religious also?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's
very Christian. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Which I didn't know was different, but is very different than Catholicism.
Oh, absolutely.
Very different.
For sure. So where do you go and talk to the guy?
Yeah, I'm like, when do we eat the bread?
Yeah. It always comes back to bread, dude.
I'm getting hungry.
But I agree that finding that connection is like a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also like, I think I would equate in a relationship finding a way to connect with the person you're with in a deeper level, more so, whatever that is,
mm-hmm.
You got to find that thing. Everybody finds it different. You know? For me,
you don't have to be religious. Most people do that would be religious,
right?
But trying that will make you find out everything you want to know about.
You don't have to be religious. Just find somebody that is religious.
Yeah,
and then fall in love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think also I think there's always different ways to do it. Like my girl and I, we were long distance for the first year we were together.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. I didn't even really think about it at the time. But from the day we met, we haven't gone a day without talking to each other.
Yeah.
For the 5 years we've been together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty crazy how just when you like somebody and you connect, the way things like fall into place and just keep going.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty awesome.
When it's all about them and who that person is, it's something totally different.
Absolutely.
It really is. Because I've definitely been down that path so many times where I'm like, oh, well, this is fun. And then once, because you hook up with them and then you're like, okay, we'll see how this rolls. And then you start hanging out. Then they just like, you hang out with them every day and you're like also hooking up and you're like, this is fun. And then you start projecting things on that person that they're actually not. And then when they don't live up to that, you get pissed off. You're like, oh, why aren't they this, this, and this? And you're like, oh, I projected that because we were just having fun and hooking up. And I just was like, oh, she is this thing. But that's your fault. You know what I mean?
For sure. I got you. I love that take, dude. It's a very romantic take.
Yeah. My forearms have gotten fucking jacked.
I don't think there's a better way to end the podcast than that right there. Nick, where can everybody find you?
On all my socials at not Nick Simmons, and check out my show No Leg Days.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
me basically going against all the biggest names in like the fitness world, as just competing. I've competed against Brian Shaw and like strongman stuff, and just like going into their like what they do best and seeing how me as just a regular gym bro does against them.
Gotcha. That's great, dude. Awesome. Go check that out. Go follow Nick. He's absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this week's episode. We're so glad you guys are here, and we'll see you next week.